This may be a country song, but I'm not sure. But maybe it is a country song. It sounds like one. I feel like it's a great quote, regardless. Welcome to Outer Monologue. Have you ever heard the saying, or maybe the lyric, if you're going through hell, keep on going? Something like that. And I'm probably butchering this. And no, I'm definitely not going to sing it for you. But I identify with that in a really major way. I am a put your head down and work kind of girl. And I think a lot of women are, especially women my age, we're kind of that in-between girls. Like we grew up in two different worlds, I feel like. And we're not quite millennials and we're not quite Gen X. We're like this in-between spot of we had instant messenger, but like in high school. And cell phones, but like dumb phones in high school. Like we grew up playing Oregon Trail, but Facebook happened in college. We had like three-way calling and call waiting, which seemed super fancy at the time. So I think for this particular demographic, if I'm talking to you, I'm also talking to me. But we still sort of have that through line of like old school American, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, work harder, just work harder. Things aren't going well, work harder. Not making enough money, work harder. Not getting everything done by the end of the day, work harder. And I don't fully hate that mentality. It has served me really well in lots of cases. And I do kind of identify with being a hard worker and a tough girl, and I get things done. And there's, I don't know, this is like song lyric day or something. I apologize. But there's like a Kevin Gates lyric that says, I have 6 jobs, I don't get tired. And that's my hype song. And I listen to that along with Rick Ross's Every Day I'm Hustling. And I think that speaks to the demographic I'm talking to right this second. Like country song all the way into sort of rap. But I do think this mentality can be detrimental if we're in a flawed system. And right now, I think, you guys, we might be in a flawed system. I am not anti-capitalist. I'm not, a socialist by any means. But it sure feels like right now, as hard as you're working, we can't outrun inflation. Like, you cannot outrun how bad this economy is. You can't outrun how ridiculously expensive homes are right now. And after school activities. And if you're like me and you send your kids to a private school, everything is so expensive right now. And I keep seeing a ton of, the like slamming boomers of, you won't help and blah, blah, blah. I don't have that. I have an absolutely fabulous dad, so I can't relate. But it is a whole lot harder and more expensive to raise kids right now than it was before. And no, it's not World War II. No, we're not sending them off to war necessarily, or making them milk cows in the morning, or, having them work in coal mines. But the difference between raising kids 10 years ago, 20 years ago, 30 years ago, and now is huge. And it's hard in a different way, right? Choose your hard, but it's hard in a different way. Like even when we were kids, I saw something the other day and it was a very young parent, not a 40s parent like me, but like a young parent, like maybe late 20s, early 30s. And she was saying that she could see how much of a burden she was on her parents, like just shopping at the grocery store. No. You weren't. You were not a burden. And also, if you had good parents, which hopefully this person did, that's not what they were thinking. Because I know a lot of really good parents right now, really good moms especially, who, no matter how hard they're working to take care of their kids right now, and how much they're having to spend to feed their children healthy food and not like poison food, and how much time they're having to spend in order to cook, because you can't grab fast food without it being super weird now or really expensive, they don't think their kids are a burden. Kids are just not a burden. They're not. And just because things are hard doesn't mean you're saying that your kids are a burden. If you're admitting that things are hard right now, that doesn't automatically equate with you saying my kids are a burden. I wish I didn't have them. No, of course not. That's ridiculous. So don't beat yourself up on that. Because you're not the only one who thinks everything's expensive and that everything's hard. And that as hard as you're working right now, possibly your parents didn't have to work as hard in the same way for that same dollar or that same purchasing power of the dollar, let's say. You're not crazy. It's hard right now. And I don't think this is hell, but I do think we should probably keep on going. Thanks for listening.